year. So World Championships are in September in Tokyo, actually. So going back there, which will be really fun. Yeah, I mean, we're at a point where just growing in marriage.
On the way to Tokyo, though, Sydney would still have to run a few races. Run being the operative word, not win. Because when she runs, she's set out to win. And honestly, you can almost always expect Sydney to win a race. This is why when she runs, you look at her time, not whether or not she won. This time is no different. At only 17, this girl made the Olympic team. Frankly, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone didn't just show up at the Olympics, she took over. Since 2019, she's been breaking records. At last year's Paris Olympics, she tore through the 400-meter hurdles in 50.37, and in doing so, she shattered the world record yet again, for the 6th time. Now, at 25, she's a household name. But despite all the hype, she's as humble as ever. After winning her 3rd Olympic gold, she said, "I credit all that I do to God. He's given me a gift." It is no secret that McLaughlin-Levrone has always been eager to push herself, even when the challenges seem impossible. By the time she was 23, she had already captured Olympic and world titles. And by 2022, she was smashing her own world records. At the World Championships in Eugene, Oregon, she broke the 400-meter hurdles world record again with a 50.68-second finish, becoming the first woman to break the 51-second barrier. It was a moment of pure triumph, but it came with a lot of physical pain. Yup, even the mighty record-breaking sprinter feels pain. At the time, it was the result of pushing through extreme exhaustion and discomfort. Right after the race, some spectators misinterpreted her subdued reaction as disinterest. But Sydney was far from indifferent. She was completely spent. "It was the worst pain of my life," she said, reflecting on the race. "I've never felt pain like it. I didn't sit down because I didn't want to celebrate. I just couldn't. A little wave was all I had left." After pushing her body through 10 hurdles, she feared she wouldn't even make it over the final one. "Please, just get over it clean and give everything I have till the finish line," she recalled thinking. As of last year, though, Sydney had a breakthrough in her thinking. "The Lord has given you a gift, and it's not always going to be easy to do the things He's placed inside of you," she explained. "Sometimes it's going to take discomfort." This realization allowed her to overcome the fear that had been holding her back and face the challenges ahead. Rather than running from the pain, she learned to embrace it and use it to propel herself forward. Simply put, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone's mental picture is ready. All that is needed to do now is wait. With the LA Olympics 2028 coming to the hurdler's home soil in Los Angeles, she's already ready, waiting, imagining that big moment. It is the thick of the 2025 indoor season right now, and Grand Slam track is coming to Kingston soon. McLaughlin-Levrone's appearance is confirmed, and so is some rigorous track action. Ahead of the event, Sydney recently sat down with Michael Johnson at the Upfront Summit. That's where the legend took his shot and asked the question all have been wondering about. What does Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone see herself doing after her career is over? Well, Sydney's answer gave valuable insights into her future plans. She confessed, "I mean, there's a lot of things I think that come to mind. Obviously I would love to be a mom. I would love to raise a family with my husband who's studying to be a pastor." Clearly, once she's done with the sport for good, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, who got married to Andre Levrone Jr. in 2022, will surely be looking to take big steps in her married life. She'd presented glimpses of the same in her book, Far Beyond Gold, too. When the time is right, she'll be looking to embrace motherhood. Similarly, in her personal life, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone plans to make time for things that help her make an impact. Driven by her own experiences, she told Johnson, "I would love to be involved in the lives of young girls. I think that my teenage years for me were a very rough time, even just around Rio, going to the Olympics. I think it's a very important time in a young girl's life. Having navigated problems in her own life has inspired Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone to use her experiences and wisdom and pour it into young girls via mediums like mentorship and coaching. She believes this can also be a foundation for competitive coaching in the future." For now, Sydney knows that she has to grab opportunities going forward and use her natural gifts to the best of her potential. Through the years, she and her coach formulated strategies that work best for her. One of them is participating only in a few events. This, of course, was not a strategy welcomed by a lot of people, fans and critics alike. In fact, someone even told track and field legend Michael Johnson, who is now starting his own track league, she was the wrong person to go get when he first brought her into the Grand Slam track in 2024. He didn't accept that criticism and responded sarcastically, saying, "Oh, so I should go get the person that actually always runs every single race to prove that." It made no sense to the three-time Grand Prix final winner. In the interview, Johnson further explained why Sydney was the perfect choice for his league. Explaining the idea behind it, he said, "It is putting our athletes out there on a stage where the world can see them, whether it's in the track meets when they're competing, or whether it's things outside of that brings exposure to them, brings exposure to us, and brings exposure to the sport." Johnson wants to highlight not just the races, but also what's happening on it and who's competing. McLaughlin understood that. In Johnson's words, she understood that that's what we were doing. Notably, the four-time Olympian was one of the very first to join the Grand Slam track, back when it was first announced in 2024, but many followed soon after. In light of this, the track athletics outdoor season gears up with the inaugural Grand Slam track event in Kingston, Jamaica in a few days. Multiple Olympic and world champions are descending on the Caribbean country's national stadium at Independence Park for the start of the league's debut season. The inaugural Grand Slam track will take place over 3 days, with athletes racing twice in a league featuring matchups between the best track runners. Kingston was selected as the first stop of the 4 Grand Slams in 2025, which will see the athletes also race in the U.S. cities of Miami, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles. McLaughlin-Levrone is one of many athletes who have chosen to open the season in Kingston after skipping the indoor campaign. It will be an unusually early start to a year for the 4-time Olympic gold medalist, who defended her women's 400-meter hurdles title at Paris 2024 with another record. The earliest she had raced competitively in her specialty event previously was in 2019, when she began the season in May in Los Angeles. The world record holder has often preferred the 4x100-meter relays, the 100-meter hurdles, or the 400-meter flat events to jumpstart her season. She will face other leading contenders and compatriots in 2019 world champion Muhammad and 2-time silver medalist Little, including Sydney. Up to 10 Olympic champions from Paris 2024 Games are confirmed for the competition, founded by 4-time Olympic champion Michael Johnson. There's Gabby Thomas, Masai Russell, Alexis Holmes, Shamir Little, Cole Hawker, and Quincy Hall, who will be seeking to continue their 2024 form and make a strong start to 2025 at the inaugural event. What kind of race will this athlete run? See for yourself.